Good morning once again. Welcome to the second video of the day, book lovers of the internet. I will be making a video about the hair accordingly. By the way, I did get a new haircut, which I am not quite certain with regard to whether I like it or not. But anyway, in today's video, I am going to be reviewing The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Hopefully that is the correct way of saying his name. I do have Fury, I think that's what it's called, the second book by Alex Michaelides, which I have already started reading as well. Now, this one has about 350 pages, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I found it to be quite an enjoyable read, and as much, this is something which doesn't have to do with the story itself, but as much as I love when it rains, I also hate when it causes water damage to my books. As you can see, there is some slight damage to the edges of my book because I took it out with me, then it suddenly started raining and I didn't have a place to hold it, a dry place to keep it, so it unfortunately got slightly damaged there. But anyway, I mean, I found the twist towards the end to be pretty fascinating, and I was only able to put two and two together towards the end of part four. This book is split into five different parts, and the chapters are very, very short. It has a very quick pace, which, if you're like me and you have a bit of a short attention span, um, this book will probably keep you engaged for quite some time. This was a cool and suspenseful read overall, and I love how well Theo and Alicia are developed. Um, there are, of course, some things which do not make sense, which is why I didn't give this book 5 stars, and I will go into more detail about those in just a few minutes. And there will be several spoilers ahead, so proceed with caution if you haven't yet read this book. And if you're planning on reading it especially, then please click away because I don't want to ruin the story for you. So I don't quite understand why the main character, Theo, who is a psychotherapist slash detective in the story, he does do a lot of detective work. I don't understand why he never did anything to confront his wife for what she'd been doing to him, and instead decided to take it out on Gabriel and Alicia. And I don't care what any of you might think, especially for the people who have read this book, but I feel as though what Theo did is completely justified. So basically, this story revolves around Theo, who discovers that his wife, Kathy, has been cheating on him with Gabriel, and Gabriel's wife, Alicia, who is also quite a popular artist, proceeds to shoot him in the head 5 times after discovering that this happens. And Theo is behind all of this, but eventually he also becomes um, Alicia's therapist at the Grove, which is the institution which takes care of people with mental issues. And to be completely honest, not only do I think that Theo's actions are justified in the sense that he told her the truth, that he revealed to Alicia that Gabriel has been cheating on her with his wife, but I also feel as though what Alicia did can be quite easily justified too, and I feel as though adultery should never be tolerated in any situation. You should always try to fix the issue before moving on. That would be the most mature way of dealing with things. And this point is highlighted further since this is a book which deals with the way the human mind works. A lot of psychology is involved in this book. And having a bit of a background myself, I was able to understand certain actions, certain implications, certain decisions um, made, but still, it all felt quite illogical to me when Theo became Alicia's therapist. And it did take me quite some time to put two and two together for things to click, but I feel as though the twist could have been done in a better way because all that build up, all that tension, all that suspense, I'm not saying that the twist ruined all of that, but it felt as though the twist was only there for the sake of there being a twist rather than an actual twist. What happened before didn't click quite as well as it should have, where as far as the twist was concerned, and I feel as though Alex Michaelides, the author, could have probably organized the book a bit better. I found that getting several points of view was extremely cool. We get the points of view of many different characters, although I don't quite understand why Theo wouldn't just come clean. I mean, honestly, he studied psychology, he's quite good at what he does as well, and he didn't kill anybody either. He should have just spoken with Alicia, maybe asked her out for a coffee to chat with her about the situation, explain his position and what they should do about it, how they should proceed, rather than take matters into his own hands and do such drastic things. I mean, we all act in different ways when we're angry, I suppose, and this is why it also makes sense that he did behave in the way he did. Of course, at any point in the video, feel free to disagree with me and tell me why in the comment section. And I thought the story, the book, would have more to do with the silent patient herself, but this was not the case entirely, since we got a lot of Theo's perspective, and we were also able to read Alicia's diary, several chapters from her diary, several days basically, because we were given multiple days to see her perspective, and this basically gave her a voice and rendered the whole point of referring to her as silent null, basically, especially since this is a book and I was reading it in my head. Basically, I couldn't listen to anything anyway. And had it been an audiobook, this situation would have probably been slightly different. But yeah, I feel as though this would have been more realistic. The fact that I think Alicia and Theo should have spoken with each other about the situation. It would have been more realistic, and it would have been more rational as well. It should have been handled with more maturity, and nobody should have died, probably. Um, I think that would have been the best way to deal with it. And I love how the Alcestis, which is a Greek story, um, is mentioned, and how perfectly it ties in with the story, almost to a point where the parallel made seems plagiarized. It basically has to do with, rather than this one having to do with a physical human sacrifice. It has to do with a psychological one, with a mental one. And basically, Alicia dies twice psychologically in this story, and it just makes her tale that much more frustrating, that much more depressing. And as much as I enjoyed the story, the suspense, and the fast pace, also aided by the short chapters as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'm not convinced that Theo wouldn't say anything to his wife upon discovering that she's been cheating on him. I mean, he has hard evidence, he read her emails, there is no excuse for what she's been doing, and he even followed her around. I would have been taking videos or pictures or screenshots, anything to have hard evidence to show the person who is cheating on me why what they're doing is wrong and why we should split up immediately. So yeah, once more, I genuinely don't think Theo did anything wrong, but do feel free to disagree with me. And those are my thoughts on The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I mean, I will probably give this author another go. I really did enjoy his writing style. There are some spelling errors, some typos here and there, some grammatical mistakes, which kind of got on my nerves. But other than that, I will give this author another go. And I do love the way he writes and his ideas. So I'll hopefully be reviewing one of his other books sometime in the future on this channel. Anyway, that is all I had to say about The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the rest of my content because why not? It's absolutely amazing. And I will see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.